Hello everyone. So today I'm going to do a French dip cook-off. So I have a moose roast or wild game roast, and I have a store-bought beef roast that I got. So I got it on sale, so I figured why not do a comparison to see if the theory behind a moose roast or wild game roast ends up turning real dry. And the beef roast is supposed to be super tender, juicy, so I figured why not do a cook-off between the two, same temperature, same smokers, same ingredients, same everything, and see how it turns out. Okay, so now that I have the setup that I want, I have a jerky rack on top. I have 2 aluminum pans on the bottom that I'm going to put au jus sauce on to kind of keep everything nice and juicy and moist. Then I have a cookie sheet underneath for basically transporting it. It makes it a lot easier in trying to handle these aluminum foil pans with liquid. And then after about an hour and a half, I'm going to take the roast off and put them in the liquid. And then we'll go from there. All right, let's get prepping here. So we have the moose roast here. You can tell it's a little bit darker than the rest. And then you have the beef roast. So the beef roast, some people like a little fat, but I'm going to take it off. I like the fat, but this has no fat on it. So I think for fair comparison, I'm just going to take off the fat. So we'll just get that trimmed up. Make sure you got a nice sharp knife. So you got another chunk of fat here. Just kind of take that off. Once you get that fat kind of off, you're not going to be able to get all the beef fat off, and that's probably why it's the comparison of why it's so juicier and tender compared to the moose roast. All right, so we have that done. Now what I've done is I've already taken a towel and wiped off all the excess blood as much as I could. And then I take a olive oil or some kind of thing. You can use regular olive oil, but this is more of easier way. So just kind of spray, cover it. What this does is it makes a bind for your meat and seasonings. So you just give it a spray. All right, and now you're ready for the seasonings. So do a thin layer of salt. You can use any salt or seasoning, but this comparison, I'm doing the same seasonings for both. All right, now that everything's kind of peppered and seasoned and everything like that, what I do is I'll put it on my rack here. We got one side, like we just explained, and we got a second side. So I let that sit. I'll go get the smoker going. All right, so as you can see, we have the beef in the front, moose in the back, got the jus sauce going, and I have it at about 175. I'm probably going to crank it up to 200 here, and we're looking for an internal temperature of 130. All right, let's do some onions and mushrooms and stuff like that. So I have 4 onions. Basically what I do, cut them in half, and half again, and just kind of make little slices. Trying to cut my finger off, and throw them in the pan. And you do that with all of these. Basically you want the amount that you can do on a sandwich. Then I just got the 4. I cheat. Like I said, I'm not a chef, I'm a barbecuer. So I got the 4 mushrooms. I chopped them up. Not really. But that's basically it as far as what the veggies are going in the au jus sauce. I did use this. It's called Johnny's French Dip. Really strong. And I did use a powder mix, but they're both pretty good. All right. Now it's just a waiting game. All right, so you can see we've taken out the 2 roasts. We got the beef roast right here. We got the moose roast right here. So it's very hot, so I'm putting on these insulating gloves. Well, they're not really insulated, they're like cotton glove. And then you put rubber gloves over the top to kind of keep it clean. Makes it so you can handle hot food. Makes it so much easier. So basically I'm gonna just take this off. It's been on for about 2.5 hours. Put it off to the side. And you can see the moose has a lot more liquid in it. Or not liquid, but like fatty, which is kind of weird because it didn't have as much fat as before. So look at that caramelization. Oh man, that looks good. And I can tell you it's super soft. It's about 100 degrees, so it has a ways yet to go. So I'm just gonna take it, kind of roll it around in it. I'm just gonna stick it on its side, just like that. Same thing with this one. We're about 100 degrees. This one has juice just coming out of it. So this is the beef one. So same thing. Both have a nice crisp layer on the outside. Then just kind of roll it over a few times. So that's it. Stick it back in there and cook it to a 130 internal temperature. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, it's that time to slice them up. So as you can see, we got the beef one right here. Got some mushrooms stuck on the bottom of it. And then you got the moose one. The moose one, man, is just really juicy. So that's gonna sound real good. Could be real good. And this is the beef one. So basically the grain's running that way, so put it in the flat area there. So it's like a perfect cut, just like that, nice and thick, not real thick. Oh man, beef one does look really good. The lamb slicer just works magic, and just look at that, just comes right apart. You gotta taste it, you know. We're gonna do the moose one now. Extend that. Grain's going that way. Put it in. Let's get it slicing. I can already tell you the moose one so far is super juicy. Has a lot bigger smoke ring on it than what I imagined. Definitely smells like moose. A little bit more gamey. All right, so we have the beef one here and the moose one here. So made a little sandwich. As you can see, onions, mushrooms, au jus sauce. I'm just gonna dip it in the au jus sauce. Wax, that's my house. And take a bite. That's pretty good. Definitely juicy. Like a French dip should be. All right, now the mousse. It looks kind of dry, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know, they're very good. This one is a little bit drier than the beef, but not a lot. Once you dip it in that jus sauce, it just changes the flavor completely. So, comparison, cook the same, everything the same. They basically taste the same to me. A little bit more rare, medium rare than the actual moose roast, but can't complain. Overall, it was great. Thanks for watching, everybody.